Hey, it's Chuck Armstrong with Loudwire Nights, and this is Loudwire Nights On Demand. I loved welcoming Royale Lynn to the show to talk all about her music, her history, and her future. This first aired on Thursday, April 4th. Let's do it. I am really excited to welcome tonight's special guest to the show because I think it's virtually impossible to talk about new rock right now without her name coming up, the one and only Royale Lynn. Thank you so much for hanging tonight, Laura.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I mean, it feels like just yesterday we ran into each other at a Beartooth show, huh?
Yes, literally a day or two ago.
And I love that was the first time you saw Beartooth, right?
Yes, and he's incredible. I was so excited to go to that show.
And, listen, you are a rock star. There's no question about it. But I love that you were there just as a fan, soaking it all up like everyone else.
Oh, thank you. No, live shows are my favorite part of the industry. I love to go see my favorite bands do their thing live and see how the crowd reacts to the songs, and it's special.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm guessing like you watch someone like Caleb right on stage for Beartooth, probably gives you a little bit of ideas of, oh man, maybe I could pull something off or do this with a live show.
For sure. It's inspiring. Like I said, when I go to see my favorite like artists play, I love seeing the structure of their show and, what music goes where and where it is in the set. So it was really cool to see how they put the show together. And I thought the crowd just went wild after every single song. So
yeah, I mean, that is a Beartooth show. I mean, as intense as the band is on stage, the crowd matches that intensity for sure.
They do. And it was sold out. So it was packed like wall to wall. And it was just special. He brought out Hardy, which is really cool.
Pretty wild. Yeah, I love that. So listen, enough about those guys. All right. I got to say, congratulations on all things surrounding your current rock single, 6 Feet Deep. There's no question it's taken the rock world by storm, and I'm so excited that Loudwire Nights is finally celebrating you and having you on the show.
Thank you so much. It's been a wild ride. When we originally wrote the song, I kind of just wanted to create a sound that maybe no one had kind of heard yet, and that's authentic to me. And the response has been incredible. And to sing about mental health as well. I'm from a really small town, and I really wanted to kind of talk about my struggles in my new music that's coming up. And 6 Feet Deep was kind of the first one where I was like completely just 100% authentically writing as me. And I write a lot for other artists. So it was cool to kind of bridge the gap of being like, I'm a metalhead, but I also grew up in the country. So how do we bridge that? And what does that sound like? And it's been really cool to be on this journey.
I love that. Well, and yeah, you've been very open about how this has been a song that you wrote, to find some type of healing in your own life. But clearly, too, when you put out a song like that out into the world, other people connect with it, right? I'm guessing, have you heard stories of listeners and fans finding their own healing in 6 Feet Deep?
Absolutely. We do meet and greet at every single show, and the stories and the people who are just so open about their struggles when I meet them, and it's almost healed me hearing about how it's healing them. So it's just been incredible all around to meet the fans who are impacted by the music.
Yeah, the catharsis that you feel writing it, then recording it, then performing it, and then that continued sort of connection with fans too. That's amazing.
My favorite part is meeting the fans.
I love that. Well, you talk about, kind of setting out to make this sound that's authentic to you and that's different. And are you the first person to use the term punctury? Punk and country, because I think it's brilliant, and I don't think I've ever heard it before.
Thank you. I don't know. I remember we were kind of just throwing around like halves of the words to try and fit something together a long time ago, and we kind of landed on punctury, and I was like, I think that's so cool. And obviously, like in the metal space too, like we were like, it's just such a cool name, and people kind of love it. So I was like, well, when we're out on the road, we've got like merch and stuff, and just the response, and people love it. They're like bridging the gap,
Yeah. Well, yeah. And listen, rock is not, there's no shortage of subgenres in rock and metal. So, you could have gone like death country or extreme country or something like that. But I think punctury's
like
it. But yeah, you really do. You straddle, you bridge that gap. You straddle both worlds because you have 6 Feet Deep taking the rock world by storm, and you've got a song like Runs in the Water that kind of takes the country world by storm too. How has that been? Like, do you enjoy kind of having a foot in both sides of of this music?
I love it. I feel like as a songwriter, I do kind of write in more of the country style because I think that writing genres, there's different styles of how you write the lyrics. So I kind of bring my country lyricism to the metal world in a sense. And, you know, with 6 feet, like we were trying to get a clear message across that it's like it's okay to be that black sheep, the outcast, the person who's kind of misunderstood, and still be able to rock out, to it, which I thought was like the best part. When I heard the riff, I was like, oh my goodness, this is like Nickelback meets, country again. And it's just been really, really cool to be able to just explore and find a sound that kind of is a little bit unique in its own way. And have the song have a moment, which is crazy. From the minute I leaked that song on TikTok, it went viral overnight.
It's amazing. I mean, it's crazy.
I was like, oh my goodness, like these people are relating to this thing that I thought I only struggled with. So it was kind of cool to see that like it's also healing others out there. So
well, I love that idea of how you write, might be a little more country leaning, but then the music or that you kind of fit into is maybe a little heavier and a little more rock. You mentioned Hardy. We love Hardy. We love Jelly. We had Jelly Roll on the show not too long ago, and that's what he talked about. He's like, there's space for me in rock because my lyrics might be a little more country, but the way I fit them into a song or whatever, like for him, as far as he's concerned, it's way more rock. And so I just love, like you said, like bridging that gap between the two worlds.
For sure. And I'm a huge fan of Jelly as well. And I think Hardy does it really well. I think it's just people being authentic, and you find how you write a song and how you would say it and what you want to say. And I think that those boys have done it so well. And I can't wait for the day to just be like, hey, like you guys are so awesome in person. So grateful that there's room for everyone in any genre. I think there's room for everyone, and there's no need to be competitive because everyone has their own lane and their own journey.
That's right. I always go back to this. I think it was a tweet that David Draymond sent out. And listen, Disturbed, very distinct sound, right? There's no denying a song that sounds like Disturbed. They've got that locked down. And Draymond tweeted, very loving, very open arms to Hardy and Jelly Roll and other sounds like that, artists like that, because he's like, there's plenty of room in rock for this.
Yeah.
And the more and more we can welcome new fans, the better. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I want all kinds at my shows. And I'm always like we are accepting of everyone who shows up through that door. So that's kind of why I'm like, I'm an advocate for mental health, is because we want everyone to just be authentically themselves, especially when they come to a show. When we get to meet in person, I'm always like, I'm excited to meet you as well. And, it's been cool. And I love that there's other people who are, just trying to kick outside the box, really.
That's right. I like that. All kinds of kinds. I love that. That's good. It wasn't that long ago, just earlier this year, that you signed a record deal with Epitaph. And, the record label started by Brett Gurwitz of Bad Religion. It's home to a lot of artists we love on Loudwire Nights, not just Bad Religion, but Falling in Reverse and Social D and Sleep Theory and The Ghost Inside and Pennywise and on and on. What was that like sitting next to Brett? Because you posted a photo on your Instagram of you and Brett, signing on the dotted line. What was that like for you to put your name down in that contract?
It was one of the most special moments of my life. And in that moment, I was like, oh my goodness, like my heart was racing, because it's just like you work so hard and you try to be authentic and you try to put out music that's true to you, and you work day in and day out. And I've sang my entire life. So when I live in Nashville now, for those of you who don't know who I am, I live in Nashville now, but I grew up in Southern Ontario in the smallest town ever that like no one else really does music like this way. And I didn't even know that it would be an option in my life, but I just kind of was like, I want to do this. And I, from 10 years old, was in guitar lessons and singing lessons. And I had a band like when I was a kid, and I just wanted to be an artist and a songwriter. And I didn't know how to do it, but I wasn't going to take no for an answer. So to see like the years and years and years of work put in And then going to that moment of sitting down with Brett, someone who like wholeheartedly is like, I believe in you and I see you and I see the vision that you want to like, that we want to like excel to and get to. And that was the coolest part of sitting down with him, was just like, I had found a team that believed in me, just as much as I had believed in myself, and moved countries to be able to do music. And it was a cool moment that they were like, no, we've got your back and we'd love to, have you on the team. And I think that I have the greatest team in the world.
That's awesome. And it's just the beginning too, it's just the beginning.
Yeah, like Brett and Sue and Edie and Lisa, and there's, Epitaph is just incredible. And I'm so honored to be there and be working with them. And obviously like my manager, Wayne, who's over at Fly South, like, I feel like I have the dream team right now. And UTA, like, I'm so grateful, because it just shows that like hard work does pay off. And if you're out there and you want to be an artist, like, give it your all and do not have a plan B.
Listen, you just gave like the perfect awards acceptance speech. So I think you're ready for that. Like, you thanked everybody. You gave some inspiring advice. You got it down.
Thank you.
So you've got some major festival appearances booked this year. You're also going to be on the road for some dates with Dirty Honey, which I got to say, we talk about Beartooth being an incredible live band. Dirty Honey too. I think you opening for Dirty Honey, like a night with the two of you, might just be one of the funnest nights of the year. I hope I can make one of those shows.
Please come to a show. I would love that. I am so excited. I haven't gotten to meet them just yet. But I am like so looking forward to this tour, and we're out we're out in May on a couple dates, and it's going to be so much fun. And I can just already tell that we're going to have a lot of fun on this tour.
You are. There's no question about it. They put on just a killer live show, and the guys are just, I mean, they're awesome. Just like you, like what you said, no plan B, and they're just all in. And that comes through on the records, comes through from the stage. And so you guys are going to fit in together perfectly. And I can't wait to see that.
I'm so excited. So excited. We'll have to get you to a show. Whatever one is close enough for you to go to, we'll be there, okay?
Amen. So last question, and you might be tired of hearing this, because I'm sure everybody's like tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, Royal, are we going to get a record this year? Are we getting a full length this year? So can I ask what's on the horizon for you?
So we have new music that is on its way, and it's closer than you think.
All right.
Very, very excited. But the next chapter, we're diving headfirst in. And I'm really, really, really excited. It's a song that's incredible. I have been working on a lot of new music, so stay tuned. I can't wait to
I get the feeling.
Come see us on tour, because we're going to tour.
I get the feeling you're not the type who wants to sit around too long, right? Like you want some new music. You want to be on the road, whatever that might look like.
Well, I'm kind of like a workaholic. If I'm not writing, I'm practicing for the shows. If we're not on the road, every single day, I'm always like trying to do whatever I can to kind of just, whether it's making videos for TikTok or, doing everything that we can. It's just, I am head first in this game, and I'm so excited to be here. So new music is on the way, I promise.
Awesome. Royale Lynn, thank you so much for hanging. I said it, and I really believe it. I mean, this is just the beginning, and I can't wait to see all that's to come for you. So let's make sure we keep hanging. You are a part of this family, this Loudwire family, and so we'll have to hang again soon.
Thank you so much. It's seriously a pleasure to chat with you today. So thank you for having me.
That wraps up this episode of Loudwire Nights on Demand. Stay caught up with everything happening in the world of rock and metal on the Loudwire app and at loudwire.com.